Hey, I'm Damelis. Today I'm going to talk about remedies for contract breach. Usually, when someone signs a contract with a buyer, this person is expecting that the buyer fulfills the responsibilities just as the person fulfilled theirs. So that's why today I'm going to talk about the remedies that a seller has when a buyer breaches a sales contract and more. Now, remedies of contract breach are drawn from both the common law and civil law systems. They are intended to give the parties the benefit of their bargain and to put the parties into the economic position they would have been in had the breach not occurred. The principal remedies are avoidance, that is, cancellation of the contract, the right to remedy or cure, the setting of an additional time or extension for performance, and the price reduction, money damages, and a specific performance. The right to a remedy depends on whether or not the failure of performance amounted to a fundamental breach. Also, there are two types of remedy that will be considered. The first one is the specific performance, that is under which the seller must do what he promised. And the second one is the payment of an amount of money as determined by a damage measure. In the case of breach of contract, there are some types of damages that can be awarded to the aggrieved party, such as special damages, nominal damages, damages for deterioration caused by delay, for inconvenience, ordinary damages, etc. Now, there are some remedies that an international company might have for a typical breach of a sales contract. If the buyer breaches the contract, then the company has the right to whatever remedies will put they in the same position that they would have been that if the buyer paid. The second one is that once a buyer breaches the contract with the company, they have the right to stop working in that project. For example, if they are not going to fulfill like their obligations to the company, then the company has no obligation to continue throwing effort and money into a project or product for which they won't get paid. Then, when the buyer puts a deposit down to secure his performance under the contract and he breaches it, the deposit nominally becomes the company, and it's important to review the contract. Then, if the buyer breaches the contract and it is egregious enough that both the company and the buyer know that, I don't know, you prevail in a lawsuit, you may want to negotiate a settlement with the buyer. In some cases, the buyer will pay you to go away. Then, if the contract doesn't contain liquidated damages language, you can sue the buyer for damages or for a specific performance. In a suit, you recover the amount of money that you lost as a result of the buyer's breach. And finally, as a seller, if a buyer breaches a contract, the company can simply cancel the contract, walk away, and wash their hands of it. Finally, as we may know, The ideal, panorama of every situation is to follow the rules. However, the common law continues to experience uncharacteristic difficulties in articulating consistent principles governing remedies in the case of breach of alternative contracts. The predominant rule is that the mode of performance that would result in the lowest recovery for the plaintiff is selected. Common law courts and civil law jurisdiction should adopt the principle that the mode of performance that would be selected if a specific performance were altered be used for the purpose of assessing compensatory damages. Thank you.